Welcome to the Tampa Yugioh podcast. I'm John, and today with me is Raul Ramos, who is the owner of Oblivion Games here in Tampa, one of the biggest stores, biggest destinations for Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments in Tampa. And I just wanted to catch up with Raul today and find out a little bit more about him, about the shop. He's got some big things going on right now. He's making a lot of improvements to the shop that I think are pretty cool. Yeah. And trying to promote different things. So we'll touch base with that. But first, Raul, did you get a chance to watch any of the YCS stuff that's happened the last 2 weeks? We've had a ton of tier 2 events.
Thank you for having me, John. I really appreciate you doing this. This is something great for the community. I love watching you guys. I'm excited to be on here. I've been seeing some of the top decks in the latest YCS. The game, I think it's moved on in a lot of the hand trap meta, so it's what I see a lot is decks are just generically good at making boards with 1-2 cards, because then the rest are all hand traps, and then you need it because your opponent stops you, and then you don't have the hand traps to stop them, and then it's a wrap from there. So a lot of all the Orcus decks, Striker Orcus seems to be the thing that is just consistently just putting up results. And then you also have a lot of the other tier decks, like Salads, getting in there. Magicians have seen a surge as well. It's a good meta, it's a good meta. You see a lot of decks that don't normally top,
Yeah, I agree. It's been a lot of fun to play the last month or two. I mean, you see me. I've been playing Mech Knights for the last month or two, and it's who knew that deck was good? And then all of a sudden, I've had pretty good success, at least at the local level with it, which tells me that it's a pretty open format. Or a lot of decks can compete with the top decks. The top decks aren't so overshadowing in power that people are able to have fun, play what they like, and I think that's always a sign of a healthy meta.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the predictability of the meta, it lets rogue decks play cards that are powerful, Super Poly and DD Crow, stuff like that. And then it definitely rogue decks, it's always scary when you're going into a tournament, you don't know what the meta's gonna be like. That's not one of those scenarios. Right now you can prepare to play against Salads, Orcus, stuff like that. And then if you know your deck, if it's a rogue deck and you know your deck and you know the matchups, you can do pretty well, and that's like you said, signs of a healthy format. And it would be interesting to see where Konami takes it from here. Times like this, sometimes they just ban a lot, and it's just we don't know where we are.
Yeah, I have a prediction it'll go downhill, but maybe that's just my just the past. Speaking, they've been doing a lot better lately.
Yeah.
But I remember we've had a lot of healthy formats that were just followed up by the worst formats in the world. I always talk about the Metal Foes, ABC, BA, PK format. Where it was and Paleo was in there too, and then that was followed up by Zodiac. So which I guess competitively was a healthy format if you were playing Zodiac.
Yeah.
But for every other deck, you just played Zoo or lost.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Sometimes just a brand new deck will come out and it's just tier 0, tier 1, really strong tier 1, and then it just blows all this other stuff out of the water. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they just do a purge ban list, and then it's just Engage 0, Galatea 0, and at that point, things will get crazy again. But that's part of the game. That's part of Yu-Gi-Oh, and having fun with it. Just adapting as a duelist, and just deck building. Sure, it's fun to play the same deck. The same deck and master and stuff like that. But when formats change like that, it's part of the. Part of the fun is the challenge, adapting your favorite deck if you want to play that, or figuring out the new builds, messing with the cards. Definitely keeps it new, and it's good.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, the Striker Orcus thing. Luis and Javier here have been playing with that for months and months. I remember the other day they were talking. They were kind of salty that it won the YCS because they're we did it first, this is but I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes a good idea, other players can recognize that it's a good idea.
For sure. Someone Luna Lights, they've been messing with Luna Lights for years.
And then it just becomes the best deck, it's weird, but
cool.
so maybe if you're in Tampa, you should listen to them. Maybe
for sure.
give them some. They got some credibility now, but yeah. So I think the other cool deck that I'm looking forward to messing around with is the Striker Draco deck.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. Like I've said before, and I will say again that I think Floodgate Draco is the dumbest deck ever. Like, it takes no skill to play, and like anytime I get like a really dumb question from my opponent, they're always playing Draco. It's like they just don't know how to play other than flipping. And that's not to say that all Draco players are like that, but it certainly like favors that kind of player. And like I think this deck though, by contrast, is like really skillful, and like there's a lot of micro interactions and like flexibility in what you can do, which I think is cool. Like that's why the Draco cards are good. The Draco cards are like advantage, and they're all have insane effects. Yeah, like the spell and traps have 3 insane effects each.
Yeah, the striker deck is like a very complicated deck because you have so many lines of plays, and it's not as simple as just activate engage. It's like about knowing the meta. If I activate engagement, will my opponent nash it or not? Like who you're playing, the skill level and stuff like that. So like mixing it with True Draco, or you're just like doing things and you're plossing. The field spell, send a True Draco card, pop something. Probably like the most misplays I see with that deck, or Striker and True Draco as well. It's like a lot of players like they don't activate Card of Demise like when they activate it too soon, or where they could just build advantage with the cards they have, and they special summoning get all this advantage. Instead, they just like slap Card of Demise and then draw irrelevant stuff, and then their opponent just like dwindles them down their resources, and then they just lose. So yeah, definitely that deck has like a level of complexity, and it's a lot of fun. I haven't had the pleasure of playing against it, but I've seen people play with it, and it's interesting.
Well, and the interesting thing about the newer builds of that mesh, like the Striker Draco mesh, is they don't even play Card Demise.
Oh,
yeah, it's like they've completely dropped it because they just don't need it.
Yeah,
like you draw through half your deck without even playing that ignorant draw card. And it's like it just shows how good the cards themselves are in the Striker and Draco decks.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it together actually for tonight's tournament. So I'm gonna try to mess around with it and have some fun with that. But try to bring some respect back to the True Draco deck.
Yeah, you definitely need like hand traps in this. So like I could definitely see why they cut it, and you need hand traps. Yeah, sucks when you lose the die roll, your opponent goes first, and then make like unbreakable board. It's not everything is just Orcas. Ip and Crescendo set. Like there's a lot of scary stuff out there, like pendulums, like Ryan's deck.
Ryan's deck's a special kind of deck anyway. Hey, Alex, can you turn the screen so can you just make sure it's stage recording? Shout out to Alex for running the sound and watching the camera. So I mean, obviously like there's been a lot, and maybe Ryan and I will kind of do like a meta breakdown at some point. But one of the things I really wanted to focus on with you today is just kind of getting to know you.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the first thing I'd like to know is what made you want to get into owning a card store?
For me, it started off as a hobby. I got into Yu-Gi-Oh in middle school and like 6th grade, and like my school was just popping with that. Like everyone was playing Yu-Gi-Oh in like the lunch tables in the morning, and then during lunch, and it was just crazy, right? Yeah. So I definitely like got into the game. It was very it was very like crazy like in my school, So I play with my friends, stuff like that, Of course, time goes by, you like fall out of the game. So like sometimes you move to an area where they don't have Yu-Gi-Oh. And for your interest to be like in the game, you have to be like like in an area that like has like a good Yu-Gi-Oh community, a lot of players. So I like picked up the game and dropped it like throughout time, and then picked it up again like maybe like around like 6-7 years ago. And then at the time I was a student at USF, and then I had like as a student you get like a lot of free time, and then I just like made the decision of like, do I wanna work for me, or do I wanna like work for like So with the student and free time, we like me and girlfriend at the time, but my wife now, we opened this together, and we didn't have anything like this on this side of the town, and but at the time that we opened it, it was just very. It was a really good time to open it. There wasn't anything like this, you know. We didn't have like sneak peeks at the time, stuff like that. So it was just really good. It was really cool, you know. Like it was definitely like, you know, like as a player, and then you know opening it, I had no idea what like any of this was like. It was you know a lot of like just learning opportunities, you know. And then just you know like making sure we had like everything for the players and stuff like that. But yeah, no, definitely it's been a crazy ride. Like I if you were to ask me like that long ago, it's like, oh, like do you see yourself like owning a card shop in like this many years? Like, no, what is a card shop? I didn't like back in the day, like the most like the only place I really would go to like for Yugioh would be like, you know, Toys R Us when they had like a
Mosey.
I never got the pleasure of going to Mosey's, but
I did the Cybernetic Revolution sneak peek there.
yeah, no, it's crazy how many people I've met like from the Mosey days. You know,
Yeah.
like we have so many reunions here all the time. Like they come in and like, oh my God, is that you? Oh my God, dude,
wow.
I haven't seen you since Mosey, and like a ton of reunions. Yeah, or, like sometimes I'll be like, you know, like shopping somewhere, and they'll be like, oh, what's Oblivion Games? And then you know, like I tell them like, you know, I sell Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, stuff like that. It's like, oh, my son used to play that like back in the day. I used to take him to Mosey. I'm like, oh my God, another one. No, it's cool. It's cool. And but yeah, no, like we've been open for like 5 years. You know, like me and my wife are married now. We got 2 kids. It's insane. You know.
So what year did you finally open? Because I know you were open when I came back into the game in like late 2015.
Yeah,
Were you relatively new then, or?
It was actually pretty crazy because it was in 2014, late 2014. We were looking for like a place to like lease, you know, like to put it in, and then my mom that used to be here, like the photo studio, she's like, hey, like the place next to me, like he's doing it. And, like I came checked it out. I was like, wow, this is really big place. It used to be a telemarketing place, so it had like a ton of walls. So it was I think we got it in November, and it wasn't like we didn't open till like no October. Yeah, it was like October, and then we didn't open till like December, like around that, like unofficially, you know, like a soft opening. We had to like take down all the walls, you know, like fix all this like electrical stuff, you know, a bunch of stuff just to get it ready. And you know, at the time we're like college students, you know, so I didn't have much to like really open it with, so like we just opened it like I think we got like 1,200 for like getting merchandise, and then like a $4,000 like Home Depot credit card, you know, and then some help with like my stepdad, he's like electrician, ACN, so he helped me with like a lot of like like him with this company and stuff. Like he like helped me with like a lot of that stuff. So it was definitely a team effort, you know. Like a lot of met a lot of great people in this game. You know, shout out to you guys. Yeah, just like you meet a lot of great people in this game, and like you know, ever since like when I was just a player, you know, it's just, you know, I like let my friends know, and then we'd like hang out here, you know, like you know, back before kids, you know, we used to like stay till like 3-4 in the morning, just you know, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, playing Catan, you know, there's Torian over there.
Yeah, he's here a
like
lot.
Catan, DC deck builder, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It seems interesting, like an interesting position to be in as a store owner, because you have like I'm trying to think of how I'm going to phrase this. Like, you have, like, a warm intro to every player that comes in. Like it's not... They already kind of know you because, you know, you're behind the counter, you're selling them, you know, even if it's just, like, a water or, like, a single they need or whatever. So it seems like you really get to know the community on a different level from, like, just being a player who goes to tournaments.
Definitely, yeah. Like, as a store owner and with all these games, you get to appreciate... the little intricacies that come with the game, you know, like not every player wants to be competitive. You know, some players, they just want to like they'll come and get 3 Phantasmics just so they can play at home with their friend. You know, like, and that's fine. Like, some players don't want to play the competitive deck. They want to like play their fun deck. You know, like you want to play Madolches at home with your buddies. You know, and like and then you just have a rule with your buddies like, oh, no meta. You know, and like or like.
You got the
like
Timmy,
if you play
Timmy's,
Blue
Johnny's,
Eyes,
and Spikes.
yeah, like if you play Blue Eyes, I can't play Blue Eyes. You know, I gotta pick something else. And it's definitely cool, and it's also cool seeing like players walk in, like you know, like Javi Soto. You know, he came in with like a Jinzo deck. You know, like used to play like back in the day, and then he wanted to play competitively. You know, so he like helped him, like, you know, and you know, like Sebastian Sanchez. You know, like he was like all heroes, and they were like, here, let me teach you about this ABC deck, and then he got really good at the game with ABCs, and it's just like segue. You know, so it's kind of like whatever each player wants. He's like determining what they want. You know, and help them. Help them with their like TCG goals, you know.
Right. It's interesting as like a business owner, you have to like really get to know your customers, and you know, like that's part of being an entrepreneur. Is like you have to know your customer base pretty well. So that's interesting too. Not a lot of business owners get to have like the one-on-one interactions too, because like you're entering your own tournaments, you know, like not all the time, but sometimes, and getting to like play and get to know these people. And then that's got to help you as like a business owner to like, you know, to sell and to, you know, to keep the store running.
Oh yeah, like no, like yeah, I enjoy the game. Like definitely, like, and then it definitely helps when it's like other like tournaments and stuff like that I can go to, and like you know, like it's great. It's fun, you know, like when you like as a group, you know, like Tampa community, we all get to like go out to like a regionals, you know, and like. Yeah. And like, you know, like have fun, you know, talk about what we played against, you know. Definitely like this helps a lot too, you know, like get to like talk about the meta, and then like the people that want to play competitively can like have like more resources available to them, you know, other than like, hey, like I'm just gonna be at home, I'm gonna work on this deck. And then hopefully it's good, you know, like since we are like it's a nice community, we can like play test against each other, and, you know, like throw ideas around. Like can't tell you how many decks I like tried out. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be so much fun. Play it. This is horrible. Terrible.
That's some crazy.
Scratch that. Let's start over. No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we have a good community here. That's one of the reasons why I started the channel, was I wanted to like highlight. You know, I wanted to highlight the places we play. I wanted to highlight the people we play with. You know, like when somebody has success, I want the community to share in that and like be able to get advice, see how they did it, and apply that to their own, you know, playing career and stuff. Like, I mean, it was so awesome when Nick Ortiz got top 4 at the YCS because, you know, like all of a sudden, this is somebody who's accessible, who you know, who is a YCS top 4 competitor.
For sure.
And you can go to him and like draw information from him and watch the video that we did with him, where you can get more information.
Yeah, he has really good insight into like cards in the meta. You know, it's like that definitely players like that they play a lot and they know the meta, and like. You know, like what cards to attack, what cards are like really powerful, you know, because some cards are good in theory, but like when play testing they're really just bad. But it's good to have that, and like Tampa's always had like really high potential. You know, I'm talking like before it kind of exploded. Like Tampa always had like really high potential players that like the only reason they weren't like more well known like as topping YCS is like, you know, like a lot of us didn't really go to like that many YCSs or big events, you know, but like now you see like a lot of more like, you know, traveling together and like, you know, like making these trips happen. Now you're starting to see results, because like Yugioh is like a game of statistics. You could be the best player with the best deck, and your opponent's the worst player, and then they just draw the right cards, and it happens, and you lose, and then you break game 2, and then that's it. So it's a statistics game. Like a lot of these players are well known for topping multiple times. It's because so like, you know, like they'll go to 10 YCSs, they'll win one, top another one, and it's, you know, good player right there. But they go to like, you didn't hear about like the other 8 times. It's just like went 0-4 and drop. Yeah. So it's just like this is why I like to tell players, like, don't take the game too serious. It's a statistics game. It's all about like consistency. You know, go with a consistent deck, know the meta. You know your deck, and then like from there on, it's just statistics. Like just keep doing it. You'll do great. You know, and just remember to have fun. It's a game.
Well, and like, let's talk about one of the things that you've been doing to kind of get people more consistent. The Team Oblivion that you just put together not too long ago.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like, what are your goals for the team, and you know, where would you like to see it go?
Okay, yeah, like the team, like I was really like looking forward to that, because it's you know, it's like players with like really like really good players with a lot of potential, you know, and then it's almost like a hub for like working together, play testing, throwing deck ideas, stuff like that, and definitely it's one of those things where like we win together and we lose together, and it's all about like being supporting like making it easier to go to these big events, so like the more we can do to like make it easier and remove obstacles for like like the players to chase like the like the YCS top or YCS win, the more we can do towards that, the better. And definitely we're getting ready to like have like streaming soon. We just want to make sure we do it like the right way. So because like we've done it before and it just kind of falls off because like the setup and this and that is just like too much work, or you needed this and that. So like we definitely want to get it down to down to a science. So whenever we get it doing, we do it consistently, and we can. And like players can watch the games, and kind of like it's a good way for like like some people don't have that much time to like come out every week to like play. It's something that they can watch and stay relevant with the meta without having to like actually play themselves
and stay connected to the local the local community too. Like you get to see people playing and like evolving as players. But yeah, you showed me your streaming setup and it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's getting there.
I'm excited to see it finally finish up, and whenever that is, looks like it's going to be soon.
Yeah.
So sure. I'm excited to see where that goes too. It seems like a really cool, idea that you've got going there. What other things are you trying to do in the store to like improve the experience? I mean, the room that we're sitting in now is obviously like it's new. not that 6 months ago or something. 7 months ago.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, primarily used for like video games, but it's cool to see like the store expanding so much.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's always that I've always like been about, like always like trying to improve. It's like that saying, like like how you do anything is how you do everything, and it's like I just want to like keep improving it to like the best that it can be,
Right.
And like for like I was telling you, like we didn't open the store with much, so it was just really bad when we started, like looking back, it's really cool to like see the progress, and we like keep trying to like make it better, and like learning and stuff like that. So yeah, like I'm down. Like I definitely like one of those people. Like I love the process. I love the journey, and just like looking back on the changes and stuff like that, and just like always like try to keep improving it. Like making it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, it seems like the stuff that you've been doing lately has not only improved like the Oblivion Games experience, but also improved the community as a whole. So I mean, as a player, I really appreciate that. Because this has become a really nice place to play, and a good little community, and I think it always had the good little community, but
for sure,
I think it's all the improvements have really, it's not it's just so much more like I'm trying to think of the word, like it's I mean, I guess simply put, cool. Like it's just like a cool place to play, like a good atmosphere. Like a I don't know. It's really nice. So I appreciate everything you've done.
And and I appreciate like any feedback. You the players, like like if you ever have any questions or like ideas you want to bring by me, like hey, this would be really cool. Like definitely like don't be afraid. Like it's one of the coolest things to have like an idea in your head and then like see it realize. And then like this has been like one of like my favorite things. So like it was just an idea, and then I like just willed it into existence. And it's like if you're the player, you might have like a really good idea, like make the place like cooler or whatever. Like make your experience like way better, and like bring it by. Like of course there's like logistics with everything, and you know, I might know stuff that the person bringing the idea might not know. It's like, oh no, we can't do that because of this, but it might just be like an idea that like really take off and like might really like be really popular and stuff. So
well, I think the Golden Emblem idea was a pretty cool idea too. That was you were the first store in the area to do something similar to that, as far as I know.
Yeah,
where it's almost like a power rank. It's not so much a power ranking as it is just kind of it's a goal for people to shoot, to shoot towards, and for people who top regionals and things like it's like, oh, they're gonna get it, it's a given, like whatever, it's just a matter of time, but for someone who's like new, it gives them something to really strive for, and put in the time and something they can be really proud of when they get it, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to do to like make players strive for better, like if you can win a locals with like 16 or more players, you can top a regionals.
Yeah.
If you can top a regionals, you can top a YCS, and you can win it. Like you can win Nats, you can win.
Yeah.
So it's like a stepping stone of like oh wow, I did this, and then like there's some people on that list that's like wow, like that, like wow, before they wouldn't even like dream of like topping a locals, let alone winning a locals, and then like they did it, they're there,
right.
And like I believe in all of them. Like it's one of those things where like in Yu-Gi-Oh, like I see a lot of players put excuses as to like why they can't, and it, from seeing the game like for like as long as I've been like looking at the game, it's like if you listen, if you actively listen and you like listen to advice and not just be like, I really like this card, I want to play it. If you listen to people,
shout out to all you boom Pauline people.
If you listen to people, and you will improve at this game. Like definitely, Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that's always changing, and like you might have been the best player 2 years ago, but you can come back into this game and get destroyed by a new player just because like the new player knows the meta. So it's like stay humble, like and like definitely it's but yeah, it was really good. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. I love it. And then there's still like there's still like a level of mystery with the pins.
Yeah.
That's been released here and there. So like I really look forward to see what happens with the names on that board and the pins and.
Oh, awesome! That's a nice little teaser.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you follow any of like the upcoming releases or anything? Is there anything you're excited to see come out or to play? I know you don't get to play as much anymore, but
Yeah. Looking forward to Ignition Assault. I feel like that's gonna be a set that's gonna really define the Yu-Gi-Oh after it comes out.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in it.
Yeah.
I love the new Gizmac card.
Yeah.
Especially as someone who loves Invoked, like that card's made for Invoked. It may as well be called Gizmac Alistair, the invoking, flame Purgatrio guy. That card's awesome.
You never know, like Abramax, there's like Crusadia too, so it's like you never know anymore.
That's why I always said the best Invoked support or the best new Invoked monster was Boral Sword Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Invoked Boral Sword Dragon. It's like
it's like the best Orcas is Gizmac.
Exactly. Orcus Gizmac. But it's crazy. Like some of the I agree. Like some of those cards and like a lot of the new Link monsters that are being released too. We're finally getting like the crazy stuff. Like
that's what I was gonna mention too. Like that set is gonna be great. So like the new cards are insane.
Yeah.
And then and we don't even know like the whole set. So it's like there could very well be some really cool reprints in there. like some reprints that we've been waiting for a while. So like
Signet Mining's already.
Maybe.
If you watch either of the YCS streams, you're well aware that Signet Mining is being reprinted because Jerome mentioned it every single round that he was on there, like 3 times.
That's pretty much guaranteed. What was it, like in March?
Yeah. I'm excited for this kind of set. I like all those sets. I think they're.
I mean, like it's really great that they've made like a lot of like the cards that like I was saying, like like players' excuses not playing. So like one of the biggest excuses like like the money. Mm-hmm. And sure, you can like substitute like a few things, like Valor for impermanent and stuff like that. But like they've done like a good job at reprinting a lot of like these like crazy cards. You know, like dual power was like insane. It was like, oh, you're getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Buy 3 of these, and you got like a lot of really good generic cards in there. Good reprints, and then I definitely see like a lot of good reprints like that coming out soon. Just to like make the game more accessible.
Yeah, and I think that's always a good thing. I think it's crazy that Japan gets all the secret rares printed in Super as well. You know, it's like So they, if you're not like a rarity whore, you can get like a really cheap build of a cheap competitive deck. I think that's awesome. I wish we'd see something implemented like that here.
Yeah.
But
like here it's like if that's an issue, right? Like the price point, like definitely like knowing the meta helps a lot. You can play like DD Crow, Street, Baylor, stuff like that. And it's just like really like cheap, impactful cards that you just put it together with like a semi-decent core, you could just win.
Yeah, and you can pick stuff up early, and you can sell stuff back if that you're not using. Buy new stuff. Like there's a lot you can do. Win store credit. I mean, I've really tried to like. I guess I call it like my Yu-Gi-Oh footprint. Like I try to make sure that every dollar I put in is spent in a really impactful way for my playing. Like I don't want to hold on to deck cores that I'm not using.
Sure.
I don't want to hold on to that kind of stuff.
That's something I learned like not even that long ago. It's like if you're not using it, sell it. Like because like so many times I'm just like because like I told you, like I don't get to play as much, so. So like I'll just have this card like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play this, and then like reprint, I never got to play with it, and then I'm like, oh great, now I gotta sell it for like 25%. That's pennies on the dollar.
My secret rare sign up mining. Collecting dust on my binder.
That's still money. That's still money.
It is for now. Yeah.
Not too late to like jump ship.
Until
I actually took those out of my binder like literally like 2 days ago. I'm like. I'm not playing Salad. I want to build a Salad deck. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Like, it's too late to jump on that. It's just like I'll just ride Orcus till it dies.
Well, do you have any plugs for events or anything you guys have coming up? I'm gonna try to put this out over the weekend. So.
We got a ton of UDSs coming up. Definitely check the Konami website. We're always on there. You can check our group, Oblivion Games, Tampa TCG. We're always posting the events there. You can click see first. We're also putting on our page, Oblivion Games Tampa. You can click the see first option. That way, we don't post on there that often, so it's not like you're gonna get flooded with notifications. It's like whenever we'll post an event, you'll see it, and bam, that's. That'll be that.
Now, fair warning, on the Oblivion Games Tampa TCG page, there is a ton of shit postings. So.
So
it's an open community forum.
Yeah, Oblivion Games Tampa page, that's like the official, you only get events and stuff. Oblivion Games Tampa TCG group, that's
it's like 1,200. It's like a local Tampa Zodiac duel.
That's where you go to post memes, post decks you're selling.
It's a blast. You should definitely follow it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
and it's not too bad to moderate, honestly.
There's nothing ever really negative on it. It's just really.
I don't really even it's maybe once a year we'll get a really weird pose and we're we should probably but other than that, it's pretty good stuff. I think it's because we have a great group of people and and we just have fun. We just have fun there. It's here this is a great time. It's one of those things you just love your job. You don't have to work a day in your life. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right. I guess let's go ahead and end it there. It's been great talking to Raul. Hopefully, everybody who's watching got to know him a little bit better. Even if you're not from Tampa, I think it's cool to get the perspective from a store owner. And get to know a store owner a little bit better. I don't think I've ever really seen anything done like this before, where it's been like an interview with a store owner.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, a lot of the stuff, a lot of with the store and stuff like that. I was saying, I keep trying to improve it. So definitely feedback helps.
Sure.
Before I opened the store, I used to love traveling to different shops and stuff like that, and then just seeing the different unique things each shop did or had to offer, or stuff I didn't like. when I used to like go to some stores, like, oh, like I don't like how they, like they have all this
Yeah.
stuff here, and then so I'll be like. I'll be like very adamant about like not like like I don't like having boxes on the table, stuff like that. Like try to keep it clean, stuff like that. It's just like I'm always like looking for feedback and things to improve and just make it better, more like like more professional, more modern, stuff like that. And then, no, yeah, I love this room. This room's great. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to check it out, definitely come out. It's still a work in progress, so definitely gonna get a lot more stuff going on here. But yeah, it's like I said, it's about the journey, and it's fun. It's fun to take the journey.
Well, all right. Well, Raul, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks everybody for watching. And once again, for Raul Ramos, I'm John West with Tampa Yugioh, and this has been another podcast. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.